Thank you. So, the topic of the day is spirits and humans, the good, bad, and the ugly, because there are good ones and bad ones. Let us just go slightly deeper. So, just like our body, if you talk about our body, there are different kinds of organisms in our body. And especially if you talk about bacteria, there is always good bacteria, bad bacteria. Good bacteria maintains health. It really helps in digestion. Maintains your stomach health very well. It facilitates absorption of nutrients when you have food. Even for example, not just food, but even fresh air or any kind of good things that you even water for that matter. It helps you to absorb nutrients, and most importantly, it is a anti-aging mechanism. Good bacteria helps in creating oxidants in our body and so on. In a similar fashion, if you look at bad bacteria, as you find it on the screen, uh, they really create a lot of health issues. And E. coli infections, many of us are aware of. UTI, we are all aware of. Lung infections, we have heard. It's all bacteria inflicted. And of course, it often, when you are having bacterial infections for a very long time, it you feel more aged than what you are. And that is why many of if you meet a very old friend with whom you have gone to school together, you might find the person has, oh my god, you're looking so old. In your mind you will say, you will not say that verbally, but, this guy is looking so old, and I'm not looking so old. Or maybe the other way around, I feel I'm so old, and look at him, he's glowing, skin is glowing, looking so different. So these things happen. Even people of the same age can look so very different. Even yesterday, I was talking to one of my friends, and she was saying that she was talking about one of our friend, and she was saying, "Look at her. I mean, she seems to be glowing every day. Every year, she is becoming younger and younger. How is that possible?" So these are all mechanisms that are there within our body. So similarly, if you talk about the things which are outside the body, then we talk about the spirits. And if you really talk about spirits, what are spirits and do they do? Spirits can be of two types. Spirits that originate from the divine white light, the ultimate white light, the source light. They are the good spirits. If you are connected with the good spirits, then lot of things happen in your life, a lot of good things, and by default, all of us have the good spirits. I mean, for this, you don't need to ask. By birth, when you take birth, right from your mother's womb till death, you have the good spirits. Many people call it conscience. So if you ask a question, what do you feel? You ask your conscience, you ask your mind. So conscience is actually a message from the spirits. You must have heard of spirit guides, soul guides, and so on. So these are all connected with the light, with the source light, with the divine light. And many times they often foster, they facilitate healing also in our body in different forms. They tell us what to do and what not to do also. Spirit can be your soul also, but your soul spirit is only yours. It need not be of somebody else. But spirits are a broader perspective. Spirits can be angels, spirit can be spirit guides who are not you, could be somebody else who passed away long time back, who was in a human form at some point in time, but now they are no more in human form, but they can be your guides. Just yesterday, I think I was talking to somebody, and was asking, who can be your spirit guide? So maybe your great grandfather who passed away, who just saw you when you were born, after 1 or 2 years passed away, can be your spirit guide. But then more importantly, spirit guides keep on changing depending on the phase of your life. So, for example, at a very, very early phase of your life, say from 0 to 7 years of age or 8 years of age, the spirit guide that you have may not be the same spirit guide when you're a teenager, or maybe when you are in your 40s or 50s. The spirit guide that you have will not be the same as you had in your childhood or in your teenage, because the lessons are different. So, for example, if you have a dermatological problem, you will not go to a ophthalmologist. So it is like that. So spirits, the masters know whom to allocate as your spirit guide to constantly guide you or to navigate you through the process, through the problems that you face in life. And then there are higher forms of spirit guides, which are the masters, and they there's a nice hierarchy of order in the higher realms. So the closest spirit that you are connected with, and which is easy to connect, is your own spirit guide at any point in time. So many times you don't connect, but they connect with you. For example, if you don't find where you have kept your glasses, and you just, oh my god, where did I keep my glasses? I'm not able to find out. And then you leave, you stop thinking about it, you switch on the TV, you watch the TV, and suddenly a thought comes, oh yeah, I kept it there. And you go there and you find it. You think it is your brain work. May not be. It may be your spirit guide who is guiding you. It is there. Many times it may happen that it happened with me so many times. I am about to close the door, and I think that, oh my god, I forgot to take my keys. So I go back and take my keys and then pull the door, because if I pull the door and the keys are inside, then it is again a process to open the door. So this sudden alarms that you get are mostly given by your spirit guide, or even the premonitions that you have. For example, when you must have heard so many stories. A lot of people have avoided some flights, and those flights have crashed or things like that, or even buses or trains. And you think, oh my God, I was supposed to take this bus or this train, and it met an accident. So these are some of the warnings that we get from our spirit guides. Of course, we have to open up. Only if we are open up, if you open yourself, if you try to connect yourself with higher realms every day in some form or the other, then the messages come smoothly. If you block, then the messages won't flow. So what is the way of doing it? Very simple. Meditation. You have to meditate, and when you meditate, you have to try to connect to your higher selves. In the same way, there are so-called not so good spirits. So what is the identification of not so good spirits, or the spirits which create problems in our lives? They are mostly those spirits which do not originate from the white light, which do not go back to the white light. So they are no way connected with the white light or the ultimate source, ultimate energy. They are not connected with that. So these are called the evil spirits, or demons we call it. So there are different reasons for creation of demons. Maybe a human being also after death, and mostly sudden death. The next slide I'm going to discuss that. Maybe sudden death, and it just doesn't know how to leave the world. It doesn't match with the white light. The automatic process is when we die, we get connected to the white light. There's a process to it. Now, if the soul rejects to accept that, it is dead, it is no more in the physical realm, then after a point, that connection to the divine gets lost. And then they can become ghosts or earthbounds or dark beings and so on. So what is the overall cycle? How does all these things happen? So thing is that if you look at the left hand side down, there's this third plane, and we generally operate in the third or fourth dimension. Okay. higher order people work on the fourth dimension, and normal human beings work or operate in the third dimension. So when once we die, once our body gets liberated, then we enter the fourth or the fifth dimension. And once we enter the fourth or the fifth dimension, what happens is, you travel through a kind of a tunnel, and then at the end of the tunnel, there is a beautiful white light that embraces you, makes you feel good about whatever you have done, tries to congratulate you, and then very quickly takes you through the process, what happened in the last birth, and it helps you make it helps you to feel good for all the good things that you have done, makes you feel bad for the bad things that you have done. And because you are away from the physical body that you just lived, you can judge, I don't want to use the word judge, but you can understand what you did right and what you did wrong. It is easy for you to understand at that level because you are detached now. So the most important thing that happens after death, which the higher realms helps in all physical beings, is to forget and leave the emotions behind. Okay, if you're not able to get rid of the physical sensations of the emotions and the earthly attachments, that is when you get entangled into this wrong spirit world. Okay, so most like 95% of people after their death, they are detached from the physical engagements that they led over 80 years, 90 years, or 50 years, or 70 years of their birth. They are out of those emotions. So once they are out of the emotions and they are at the soul state, it is easy to understand what they did right and what they did wrong. Though when they were physically present, they might have thought that whatever they did was right. So based on that judgment of what they did right and what they did wrong, they want to rectify it. Okay, if they want to rectify, they go for the next life with the resolutions of what is to be rectified and what is to be achieved in that life. But of course, in between these two lives, there's an interlife process. In the interlife process, now if your body, if your soul in that particular birth has gone through too much of pain, too much of emotional turmoils, too much of trauma, then there is a healing procedure. Okay, there's a hall of healing, as we call it. It's kind of a hospital. So there are masters there, there are angels there who facilitate the healing process of the soul. Okay, so once the soul is healed, then it understands through the akashic records what the soul has achieved across lifetimes. So any of you must have lived for say 200 lifetimes or 300 lifetimes or even more. So then you go through your entire process. So then you understand, you get the holistic picture. Okay, so I'm here now at my 248th birth, and this is what I have achieved across 248 births, and this is what I have to achieve later on. So you get the holistic picture. Once you get the holistic picture, it is easy for you to decide what should be your resolutions in the next birth. Of course, the masters and the spirits are always there to guide you. So there is a pre life selection process. So the masters show you, masters of the gateway, they show you what kind of life can be suitable for you in the next time, and you select, you get an opportunity to select. Okay, I would prefer to select this mother's womb. So you take birth there with your resolutions, and within a matter of 2 years or so, you forget all the resolutions that you take. It gets deeply imbibed in your conscience, in your awareness. So you get the holistic picture. Once you get the holistic picture, it is easy for you to decide what should be your resolutions in the next birth.
Debasis ji, we can't hear you.
Pardon?
We can. Sorry.
Yes.
In between, there was a break in the voice, so but we can hear it now.
Okay. Not okay. So that is the process. But then many times, if you don't follow the process, if you cannot enter the fourth dimension and complete the cycle, in that case, you may end up becoming a wrong spirit because you are not guided to the white light. So that is one of the source of becoming a spirit which is not connected with the white light. Otherwise, the process is very simple. So many times we feel that there could be spirits within us, okay, which are not the good spirits. The good spirits, I told you, they always help us so much, but similarly there could be bad spirits also in us. So that's nothing to be really worried about it, because some kind of bad omen can be always there, especially mentally if you are at a weak stage. So then there is a possibility that you might be infested by bad spirits. So there's something called earthbound spirits, and if you have this kind of a spiritual, in this kind of a bad spirit in you, then many of the wrong emotions are very very profound in your overall behavioral patterns. Like for example, always being in a confused state of manner. Okay, deeply addicted to something to such a level that you forget everything else in your life. You must have seen people who drink right from the morning till the night. They keep on drinking and drinking and drinking, do nothing else. So those are examples of being affected by spirits. Or always a sense of bitterness and revenge, anger, bitterness and revenge all the time. That is again a negative thing, which is not human. Okay. Or always in a state of guilt or fear, or always terrorized of something, nobody knows what. So these are symptoms of some earthbound spirits being affecting you, or affecting you. Ghosts don't generally come with human beings, but ghost and BHA is, in Hindi we often use the term bhatakti hui atma. So it is the same as ghosts. But then ghosts were human beings at some point in time, and then because of their excessive attachment with the physical world, they lost the connect with the light, with the divine light. So they move around here and there, and there are, I think, infinite ghost stories in our literature, in Indian literature, and even in foreign literature. There are innumerable ghost stories. So those are ghosts, and those are they lived human life at some point, but then they forgot that, oh, I have to go back to the white light. So negative emotions are a strong pathway for negative spirits to attack attack you. So it is very important for us to remain positive in our life, and to become sorted as far as possible, to remain sorted in our life. So as you see the right hand side lower ball, that you see negative emotions, to be seen, it is very human to have doubt. It is very human to have jealousy or shame or fear or grief. But what I mean is, it should not be prolonged. By nature, we don't extend anything. Even, for example, when a very near person dies, the intensity of the grief that is there in the first 3 days is not the same after 3 months. So, naturally, if somebody is having the same intensity of grief even after 3 months, there's something wrong. That is what I mean. We all go through depression. But if you're in a depressed state for 5 years, something is wrong. So, yes, again, more or less the same thing. How do you understand? You will be continuously in a low energy level. If you are continuously in a low energy level, you don't, even in the morning when you wake up after taking a nice warm shower, you still feel low. Something is wrong. Things are very clear in front of you, but still you don't have clarity of thought. Something is wrong. And especially hallucinations or hearing weird voices, hearing noises are a symptom of spirits. Very recently, I can share this. Sorry. Yeah. Very recently, one of my student who, after graduating from my school, he went to France, and he disconnected himself from all his friends, and he used to call he used to from Paris. He used to call his parents. He did not have his father, his mother, and his sister, and all of them. That you know what? I always hear voices, and they are trying to disturb me, distract me, and all of that. It used to happen continuously with him, and his sister or his mother never paid any attention to it. He always thought that somebody is following him and some whatever it is, and it's very very unfortunate. He suddenly one fine morning he committed suicide. So these kind of things, something that we cannot explain with our thought process, it should not be that you just ignore that. It is possible. With somebody else, it could be possible. So purpose of the session is also to be alert of people around us. If they are having this kind of weird things in their mind going on, then you have to take them for treatment. They should be treated. Okay. There are also dark spirits, which are bit, difficult. So, in today's world, you will not find more than 0.001% of dark spirits. They are mostly not there, but still, it's just for the sake of knowledge. There could be dark spirits, and they generally borrow human body. Long time back, you must have seen in a lot of movies that वो फकीर आके उसको that broom लेके मारता है, and the dark spirit is gone and all of that. So they are again, they try to take some body, and that is how they survive, because they cannot survive on their own. They are of very low vibration, very low frequency, so they need to survive. They need the energy of a human body to survive. So that is how they get attached. And many times it also happens that if you take an oath in one of your previous life, and to help a particular dark spirit, the dark spirit gets the permission to be in your field for lifetimes, across lifetimes. So an example that I gave some time back was one of my known person in one of her previous birth. She was drowning. She was about to drown in water when she went for a swimming. So there was kind of a whirlpool, and like a tornado, and it was pulling down. So that was the time she was like desperate to call somebody, please help, please help. And some kind of a dark force came to rescue her. But then the dark force said, if I help you to survive, will you allow your body, will you allow me to be there with you? So she said, everything, anything that you ask, save me. So that is how the contract happened. And based on the contract, the dark spirit got the permission to stay in her body across lifetime. So whenever she used to take bath, the dark spirit used to be there with her. And in this life also, it was there. So it was not easy to remove that. But this is very rare. So I don't think you should worry about this much. This is not there in general, very, very rare case. So there are also other forms, like I just now mentioned about the oaths or the agreements that many of us take. It can really really transform a good life to a very altered state of being. And when these kind of things happen, the pure soul gets fragmented, broken into pieces. The purity is gone. So that leads to the distorted behavioral patterns over a long period of time. So there is something. There are different ways of releasing spirits if they are there. But just like we talk about diseases, some diseases just come and go very fast. Some diseases are there, like lifestyle diseases, which are there with us for a very very long time. Some diseases are so fatal that they take life. Similarly, spirits also, there could be some spirits which are not so harmful, just disturb a bit, and then they are out of your energy levels. So similarly, there are a lot of therapies, especially past life regression therapy, that can remove these spirits and guide them to the white light. Uh, so generally, the process is to take you through the life in which you were first infected by the spirit, and then there is something called a scanning process. Once the scanning process is done, then you identify what kind of an attachment it is, and then there's a process of guiding that spirit to the with the help of angels to the white light, to the web of light. And if it doesn't or if it's not interested or doesn't want to leave the body, then there are more intensive methods of releasing the spirit and helping it to merge with the white light. So it's more of a cleansing process, cleansing your energy layers, and then releasing all kind of negative spirits or negative beings which are there in your even in your aura levels, and to release them so that you are liberated. So that is it. I think I am done with the session. So if you have any questions, you can ask.
Good
I,
morning.
yes, I will say something once the recording is stopped. I have something to share with you. Thank you.
Sure.
I think Aparna wants to say something.
Hello.
Yeah, please speak.
So, somebody interrupted you in between when you were about to say, tell something about the childhood or something that after 2 years, the spirit, we forgot what we with the resolutions, we took the birth or something like that. And somebody said that your voice is not coming, and you suddenly lost the track. And
Yeah,
that thing was,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. So what happens is, generally, before we take birth, we take certain resolutions of what is to be achieved in this particular birth. And the norm is, until you are able to speak, until you reach the age when you are able to speak with clarity, you remember your resolutions of the previous birth.
Okay.
Yes. So generally, up to the age of 2.5 or 3 years of age, sometimes even 4 years of age, you actually remember your resolutions. And not only that, you even can feel and sense the presence of your spirit guide. I remember when I was very small, I used to feel the presence of my spirit guide just beside me, always beside me, always beside me. I used to talk. Many kids, I think all mothers here must have seen your kids talking to somebody which is totally imaginary. You must have seen that.
All right.
And sometimes they use the doll to speak, but actually they're not talking to the doll. They're talking to the spirit guide.
Oh,
So children can see that spirit guide actually. I could see my spirit guide at the age of 3, 4. I still remember that.
oh,
And I knew his name. His name was Lakshman. And I could talk to him, I could feel him. But when I grew older, like 7 or 8 years of age, then my worldly consciousness became very prominent. And then the spirit guide was gone.
okay. So, sir, if we regress till the age of 2 or say 1 year, can we remember our resolutions? Can we find out?
Uh, in the previous session, I actually did something like a age regression where I took many of
Actually,
them.
I
Yeah,
was not able to.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So the answer is yes, yes. You may or may not remember at the age of, because through regression, you may not remember the resolutions that you took. But the moment you go to your mother's womb and then out of life in the interlife state, then you can always remember your resolutions of this birth.
Okay.
But it is always a process, because at that level you need to connect first with the spirit guide. So in one meeting with your spirit guide, you may not be able to communicate freely. So after 2 or 3 meetings with your spirit guide, then you will be able to understand the vibration of your spirit guide. You match the vibration very easily, and then thoughts percolate through just imagination, and you can communicate and you can talk and you can understand what was your resolution for this birth and how you can move forward.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The soul agreement and resolution is the same thing that you are talking about? Like there's a soul agreement, source mastery, that we have decided this is our soul strength and that we can use at any given point. But is this same as resolution we have taken before taking birth on this planet?
So I don't really believe in soul agreement, because it's a very strong word, and agreement is a very strong word. Soul resolutions are uh, maybe you are meaning the same thing, but I would call it resolutions because it is not an agreement. It's just, yes, you do a kind of an agreement with yourself, your own soul, but uh, it's better called resolutions, because you may or may not be able to fulfill them in one birth. Your objective is to fulfill in one birth, but you may not be able to achieve so much in one birth, and it gets just carried forward to the next birth. That's all. And many times there are people who are nowhere close to, they get diverted, and and in our life there are no dearth of examples where people have gone diverted and they are nowhere close to their soul resolutions. um, we have heard of so many negative people in this world. So then they have to take several rounds of birth later on again and meet their soul resolutions.
I have a question, Debasis. Is there like what is it like if you marry a person, get married to a person who probably may have sold his soul to the devil, as they say? What is that karma? What is the thing about it? I mean, why do we good people get connected with such people
So souls
in the
also
form
go
of a
through.
wife or in the form of children or in the form of anything,
Yes. So many times our sole purpose is not only to help our own soul growth, but also we belong to a soul family. So within the family, just like in our physical families also, within our soul family, uh, whenever you are having, say, problems in a family, you get affected. How do I save the person? What can I do for the person? You feel like that. Similarly, in the soul family also, when somebody get affected by a negative spirit, you try to help. Okay. So when you take resolutions in a particular birth, you might take a resolution that I want to help this particular soul in this birth. So you have all good intentions to help the soul. So you get connected, and the person can come in the form of your husband, can come in the form of your son or daughter or whatever it is. Okay, your purpose is to help the person. How much you can help depends on your soul power, your soul energy. Sometimes people try, they succeed, sometimes they don't. But your purpose, your soul purpose is not only a selfish motive of uplifting your soul. Upliftment of your soul also depends on how much you have done for others, for other souls. So this is a particular way in which you get connected to souls which are not so good, not so bright, not so elevated, to promote them, to help them to grow. So that is how you maybe get connected to these kind of souls. But then there is always a risk of those souls, if they are very, very strong and you are not that strong emotionally, they can pull you down also. So there is always that risk.
Okay. Now, supposing this soul has not been able to pull you down all the time. I mean, at one point, you go deep down into the depths of what we call hell, and then you come back somehow. So, and this person, supposing we've not completed that task of helping the soul, it goes away. I mean, it leaves the earth. So, does this thing get repeated again and again?
No, 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 no,
Why do we
no, no.
fail
So
if we
we
have
fail
taken the
because
resolution to help?
yes, yes, yes. So we can only take a resolution to help. I mean, you can only take the horse to the water. You can't force the horse to drink water. So your purpose is to help. You did your job, but it is up to that soul to accept and to change. You cannot push or force a particular soul to to change. You can just help. So you did your job. It is up to that soul to accept or reject or change. If it doesn't, you can't help it. What do you do then? You can't do that. But it
Okay.
doesn't impact you at all because so what is that karma connection which comes back life after life? That is when you have unfinished agenda with a particular person. For example, if a person has reached a lot of harm to you, okay, and you have that deep resentment, that we call khunnas kind of a thing, that oh my god, isko to main dekh lunga, mauka milte hi dekh lunga. But if somebody asks you, you will say, oh no, 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 I have forgiven him totally. But deep inside, you have not forgiven. You are not able to let go. Whenever you are not able to let go of a particular attachment with a particular person, that comes back again and again, life after life. But if you're able to cut the cord, forgive and forget that person, it is cut. So if it is cut, that person will not come in your next life. So for example, a doctor, doctors always charge money to save lives. But let us assume, let us think of those doctors, those who do a lot of social work, healing people, helping people without charging money also. So they do that. I'm talking from a positive side. They do that. In next life, the same people whom they have helped can come back and try to give them back in some form or the other. And that is how you get so many from people whom you may not have even thought that, how did this person come to my life and do so much for me? That is because there was some karma issues of that person, some debt of that person. He's trying to repay you back.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Sir, one question I want to ask.
Yeah.
Sir, how to differentiate whether it's karma or it's just we are trying to help someone?
Yeah. So if it is just to help someone, it is one time thing. If it is a prolonged process, like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, then it is karma. So
Okay.
generally speaking, if you are connected with a person for more than a year, you must have had some karma connection with that person.
Okay.
Actively. Not like meeting somebody in the market today, and again after 2 years you meet the same person in the market and say, oh, I have karma connection with you. Not that way.
So it means when it's come to husband or son or something, it's karma only, no?
Of course,
It's
100%.
karma.
100%.
And in cord cutting will help such situations, or cord cutting cannot help these things.
Yes,
Nah?
yes,
We have
yes.
to.
Yes, yes. Of course it will help. Of course. It is just forgive and forget.
Okay.
Pardon the person from the deepest corner of your heart. That's all. And the person will not come back to your life in the next lifetimes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So can you take session on forgiveness?
Yeah, I will do that. I'll do
That
that.
would, I think that would be the most
Yeah. Yeah.
essential, or
Yes, yes.
what is the particular word? I think the base for all these things now.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
cord,
That is
yeah,
the base of
for cord
everything.
cutting. Yeah,
Correct,
forgiveness.
correct, correct, correct. Absolutely.
We need to learn that.
Yes, yes. Absolutely.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, Anshu.
If there is a person who is facing such problem like hearing some voices all the time and not able to even concentrate in his life, and like he's exactly going through the symptoms you have just shared, that carrying some spirit within,
Yeah.
and his life is drastically like towards downfall since the last 4 5 years, and he's even into continuous depressive state. So how we can help that person?
So this is a typical case of spirit entanglement. Actually, just last week I was taking session on this on spirit release. I did a deep meditation on spirit release therapy. So it needs release of spirit. So I have my recording. I can share my recording with you. You can go through it. Okay. You can connect with me. I'm just sharing my phone number here in the group. You can
So will he be able to recover? Like he,
mostly yes, but it is not so easy. It has to be done. Yeah, it has to be practiced.
there is no like such a allopathic medication, or he does not need to visit any doctor.
Yes. So generally, these kind of hallucinations lead to schizophrenia, and so doctors will treat him or her for schizophrenia. And the typical impact of the medicine is, if you take, I mean, there are doctors. Aparna is a doctor here. Aparna will be able to throw more light. So these kind of medications, what happens? They I mean, they lead to a lot of weight gain and all of that. But then so there's always a negative impact on the physical body for these kind of medications. But yes, allopathy medicines are there, even homeopathy is there, a lot of medications is there. I'm not trying to give you an alternative to medication. I'm just giving you an independent solution.
Okay, like if we suggest him to recite Hanuman Chalisa maximum times, will it be helpful?
So the point is, if you have normal cough and cold, you go to a general physician. If you have a chronic ulcer in your, chronic, say, peptic ulcer, a general physician may not be able to help.
Right.
That is the answer, maybe.
Sir, thank you so much. I'll share your contact number further.
Yeah, yeah,
Be
sure,
grateful if you can help that person. Thank you.
sure, sure, sure. In fact, Anshu, for these kind of people, what happens? There's something called surrogate meditation. So you can actually do the meditation on his or her behalf also. So imagining his soul, you can do the meditation on his behalf, because he may not have that mental state even to sit for 10 minutes, forget about 90 minutes to go through the entire meditation. So somebody else can do it on his behalf also.
Okay, sir. And how long will it take to recover him from this
No, no, no.
situation?
There is, these are all very difficult questions to answer. It depends on the state, depends on the level, depends on the spirit, depends on so many factors. So very difficult to answer how long it will take. But if you are able to do it religiously, and with faith and devotion, then 3 to 6 months should be good enough time to heal.
Okay. Visible improvements will be seen there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Within a month, you should be able to see visibly improve.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Mm. Do you have the recording of the surrogate meditation?
I do.
Can you share it?
Yes, I'll share. But
And does it?
these meditations are generally live meditations are better, because when I do these kind of meditations, I call spirits and angels and masters in the meditation. So they are there. It might sound a bit weird for you, but I try to call all of them during the meditation. So their presence is there for the healing. The recording may not have the presence of their,
Okay.
so they, you may hear that they are doing it, but whether they are actually doing, I don't. So when it
Okay.
is live, it is different.
Okay, the
But of
surrogate
course,
meditation.
yes, yes. For any kind of meditation, when it is
Okay.
live, it has a different impact than listening to the recording. Listening to the recording can have a partial impact, not a complete impact.
Okay, and you do this on one or you do it as a group,
So there's a group.
surrogate meditation?
Yeah, there are people here already who are a part of it. Like Rakhi is there, Aparna is there, Vineet is there,
Oh,
Rajvinder is there.
okay. So next time you have it, can you include me? Was this the spirit release that you did, or it's different?
So Rakhi, can you
You
explain?
called me, no?
Mr. Debasis,
Yeah,
I put a question to you in the chat.
I'll just check.
My question is to you is how to overcome repeated triggers.
Triggers. So
Repeated
so there's
triggers.
no easy way to overcome triggers. Um, but the easiest way to overcome triggers is
Is
to calm your mind.
is to ignore it or
No,
just
no, no, no. Is to calm your mind. And the process to calm your mind is to practice meditation every day, at least half an hour.
I do.
Yeah. So then you're not able to calm your mind during the meditation also. There's a process of going through meditation. So if you are able to align your chakras and if you're able to connect to the higher realms during the meditation, then of course the triggers can be taken care of to a large extent.
but it won't happen overnight, right, sir?
Of course not. Of course not. It takes time. Everything takes time.
So how to prevent those triggers? Do I just ignore people?
Well, triggers are caused because of certain sparks in your mind.
But
So meditation helps you to calm down.
attachments also can cause triggers,
Yes,
right?
yes. So meditation helps you to calm down so the triggers won't happen. Though the cause of the trigger may be there, but still you may not feel the trigger in your mind, in yourself, if you are able to do the meditation, which will be able to calm you down. Okay. So the reasons will always be there, but you will not feel triggered. See, trigger is happening because of you, not because of that. Things keep on happening.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, there is difference between evil souls and earthbound souls, right?
Yes. No, earthbound souls are evil souls.
But they are lesser in
Right,
severity.
right.
So how to the method to deal with them is the meditation that you suggested in your last
Right,
session.
right,
But
right.
sir, I don't know. Unfortunately, I missed both the sessions. You took this session before also, and I missed this session this time also. The only session I missed in months together was these only. I don't
Yeah.
know why this is happening every time. Is there
Okay, so
something?
no, I can do it again, no problem. I can do it again. I can do it again, no problem at all.
I missed the same session twice, so I thought, is there something that universe doesn't
Yeah.
want me to do or something like that?
No, doesn't mind, doesn't matter. I can do it tomorrow also. Tomorrow night I can do it at 9:30 or yeah,
Oh,
tomorrow
sir,
night also.
so nice of you, so kind of you, sir, so kind of you. Thank you. I thought
Thank-
there from that day only the you said na
Yeah,
you gave some funny remark on that, interesting or something for that thing. So I
yeah.
I thought ki it's something the universe is punishing me or my not attending
Yeah,
this
but
session.
it is not as in Hindi they called ittefaq se. It is not ittefaq. for
Yeah,
sure.
it's not ittifaq. It's not ittifaq that I missed it twice. So
Yeah,
from
yeah,
that
yeah.
day only, it's in my mind that universe
Yeah,
is just purposefully keeping me away from this
yeah,
issue
yeah.
or what.
Today's meditation
Okay.
is at 9:30 on skin. So tomorrow I can do it. No problem.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Oh.
sir.
Sir, even I missed the beginning. I joined in between. I'm finding it very interesting what you're talking about. So, do you teach past life regression also? Like how to do it?
I don't get time to teach, but I generally conduct past life regressions in groups.
Okay.
Individually, also, I do sometimes. If it is acute case, I do it individually, but I
Okay.
don't do past life regression. I do past life therapy to heal,
Okay.
not
What is
just
the
for fun.
difference?
Difference is a person can be interested in going to any past life just for fun. A
Mhm.
person may need past life regression therapy to heal certain wounds in the previous lives that is impacting in this life.
Okay, okay. So, what was today's session about? I'm sorry. Like, what did you do exactly?
Today's session is
Spirit,
about
spirit and
today's session
human.
was about
Spirit and
certain.
human.
So just like we have good spirits and bad spirits, good bacteria,
Yes.
bad bacteria,
Yeah.
we are today we were talking about the bad spirits that can impact our general flow of life and make it miserable.
And how do you propose to control that? Like, in short?
That is the process. That is the meditation that Aparna was talking about.
Okay.
So there is a process. There's a I did that meditation. It's 1.5 hours, 90 minutes meditation, guided
When?
meditation through which
Today?
I help to remove the spirits from your field.
You did that today?
Not today. I did that on Tuesday and Thursday night. Not
Okay.
on Mavin. Not
When
on
are you
Mavin.
doing it next?
So I can do it tomorrow also. Tomorrow night also I can do it. Tomorrow night, 9:30 I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will you, I would like to, if you can share the link, yeah, somebody is asking. And also I would like to join you actually when you're doing it. That would be even
So
better.
I shared my mobile number. You can contact me on WhatsApp and then I can add you.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm on this, I get the message on this group actually. Midas Talks
This
group, I
is
think.
what I'm saying is my own group. Of course, I don't charge money and all that.
Okay. That's so
So
kind of
you can
you,
just
sir.
message me. You can message me. I can add you on that group also, and you can continue with Mavin. No problem at all.
Okay. That's really kind of you that you're doing this service. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Meenaji,
Sir?
you wanted to say something? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I'm